Hello and welcome to another Mr. Carter Science Special. In this video we'll be covering the process of deforestation. As you can see in the background behind me, this is a process which has a very large environmental impact on the local environment and more widely on the global environment. As always, keep your eyes open for our learning outcomes so you can see what we're going to be learning as we go through the video. So I'd like you to have a look at these images. What do you think is happening? Pause the video and have a little discussion. What's happening in these different images? Well, these images show you the Indonesian island of Borneo over the last 65 years or so, and show you the destruction of the rainforests on these islands. And this destruction is known as deforestation. And deforestation has a negative effect on the environment and on biodiversity. Forests, it's important to understand, are often burnt down in a process which is called slash and burn. So why do people clear forests? Well, people clear forests to provide land for agriculture, for example, to grow rice or palm oil, or for rearing cattle, or perhaps to produce land, to provide land so that they can grow crops for biofuels, or maybe they just need the wood itself as a fuel. People will clear forests so that they can provide land for housing or for roads, all of which you can see in these images below here. Here is a road that's being constructed through a rainforest. Here they've cleared forest for land for housing, and here you can see some people which are growing palm oil, and this is grown in a palm oil plantation, which again will have been in an area where rainforest has been cleared. What are the undesirable effects of deforestation? Why is it that we want to try and prevent or reduce the amount of deforestation that's going on? Well, when you destroy and cut down these forests or burn these forests, you obviously have an extinction of species that live in the forest, and this will lead to a loss of biodiversity and a loss of potential new medicines. There's a large amount of medical compounds which are found in the animals and the plants that live in areas of tropical rainforest or more temperate forests. You also end up with a loss of soil by erosion, and this can lead to flooding in the local areas, and that can lead to a loss of life as well. And we also end up with a large amount of carbon dioxide building up, and this increases global warming. Why is that? Well, burning trees or combustion will obviously lead to an increase in carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, but also when the vegetation is killed or slashed and burnt and destroyed, the dead vegetation gets decomposed, and decomposers respire, releasing yet more carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. When you destroy a forest, that means there's less trees, and less trees means less photosynthesis, so less carbon dioxide is removed from the atmosphere, so the amount of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere increases. Now, carbon dioxide is a greenhouse gas, and it contributes to the enhanced greenhouse effect, global warming and climate change. So not only do you end up with a loss of biodiversity and damage to the local environment, but this will also have an effect on the global environment through global warming and climate change. So how does deforestation affect the soil structure in the areas where deforestation occurs? Well, when forests are removed, the roots that hold the soil together are also removed, and this leads to soil erosion and a loss of minerals due to leaching, and the soil that's left behind is less fertile, particularly with the rain. As the rain lands on the soil, it washes that soil into the rivers, and therefore there's less space in the river for this water, and this can cause flooding. And I can show you that with a simple diagram here. If you think of the cross section of the river looking like this, and it will be able to hold a certain volume of water. But if we start to have a lot of soil washed into that river, accumulating at the base of the river, then the river itself can hold a smaller volume of water, so that water will then spill out over the banks of the river, causing flooding in the local areas. And in the places where this happens, it can be devastating. Flash floods can occur and thousands of people can lose their lives. To try and reduce soil erosion in many countries, Terracing is used because terracing will reduce the amount of soil erosion on steep or hilly grounds. And here we have an example from Indonesia where we have some rice terraces on the island of Bali, reducing soil erosion and the effects that soil erosion will have on the local communities and local environment. How can countries reduce the impact of deforestation? Well, countries can pass and enforce laws to limit deforestation. Many countries will pass laws, but their enforcement is very weak, so the deforestation continues. Countries can try and replant and replace any trees that have been cut down. And you as a consumer can try and use sustainable wood sources from areas where forests are replenished, so that the wood that is cut down can be used and new trees are replanted so that that wood can grow again. Countries can also try to preserve rainforests, because preserving rainforests will increase biodiversity and it will reduce carbon dioxide levels, and it will allow scientists to test species as a potential medicine. Costa Rica is a very good example of this, as Costa Rica has protected its rainforests. It's found that actually it has increased its biodiversity, reduced its CO2, but also it's increased revenue from tourists who now come to see the beauty of the rainforest in Costa Rica. So let's just have a little think about discussing deforestation. Here I've got an exam question for you to try. Borneo is an island in Asia. It used to be covered by rainforest, and the diagrams show the loss of this rainforest by deforestation from 1950. You've seen this diagram at the top of this video. You can see we've got the dark forested area and the white deforested areas. A conservationist states that all deforestation should be stopped. All deforestation. Discuss this statement. When you're given an exam question like this, it's important that you discuss all the thoughts that you have that agree with the statement, but also the thoughts that disagree, so you can provide a balanced argument. This is a 6-mark question, so pause the video now and give yourself 6 minutes and try and write down an answer and see how many marks you can gain. And here's the answer. So we would be looking for discussing the statement, a conservationist states all deforestation should be stopped. So we'd be looking for saying things like, well, we need wood for construction, we need wood for manufacture of paper and furniture, and we need wood for road construction, farming, cattle, and we need land to grow crops and produce useful products so that we have an economic benefit. So we should not stop deforestation for these reasons. However, we should stop deforestation for these reasons. Global warming, deforestation leads to global warming and the greenhouse effect. There is a loss of trees which will increase carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. If you cut down trees for cattle farming, then the cattle are going to release methane, which is a greenhouse gas, and again will end up in the atmosphere, increasing global warming. We will also get a large amount of soil erosion, so even though the land appears fertile at first, after a few years it will become very infertile as that soil is washed away, leading to possible flooding in the local areas. There will also be a loss of species or extinction of species, leading to biodiversity. So you should be able to get at least 3 arguments for deforestation and at least 3 arguments against deforestation in an exam question like this. Well, I hope you've enjoyed watching this short video on deforestation. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel so you'll get notifications when I release the next upcoming videos. Please comment below, let me know what you've learned, let me know what you've enjoyed about this video. Thank you very much for watching.